Hello and welcome everyone. So we are back with our daily current affairs analysis through multiple choice questions. So this will be the analysis of 20th of July 2020. So if you like the video, please share it and subscribe to our channel. This will encourage us to make more videos for you. So let's get started. So the topics that are included in today's video are plea bargaining, fundamental rights for the accused, quadrilateral security dialogue, oil and gas fields, global multidimensional poverty index of 2020, then KURMA, that is a mobile application, then community transmission of COVID-19, Rhino in Assam, Rhino in Asia, then Uighurs, then vitamin D. So let's get started with the first question. So consider the following statements with respect to plea bargaining. So it is a process whereby the accused may bargain with the prosecution for a lesser punishment. Then the Indian code makes plea bargaining can be initiated only by the accused. It is available only to those accused of civil offences in India. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 3 only, 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only. So among the given statement, the third statement is not correct. So the correct option will be C, 1 and 2 only. Let's see why. So recently, যেতিয়া আমাৰ COVID-19 start হয় India, তেতিয়া Tablighi Jamaat লৈ পেলাই আমাৰ controversy হৈছিল. So recently, many members of the Tablighi Jamaat belonging to different countries have obtained release from the court cases in recent days by means of plea bargaining. So what it is? So it refers to a person charged with a criminal offense negotiating with the prosecution for a lesser punishment than what is provided in law by pleading guilty to a less serious offense. It was introduced in 2006 as a part of a set of amendments to the Criminal Procedure Code containing sections 265A to 265L. So the Indian Code makes plea bargaining a process that can only be initiated by the accused. So our first two statements are correct and the third statement is not correct. So moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements. Constitution of India provides for fundamental rights of an accused against forced self-incrimination. So forced self-incrimination মানে কি আমি চাও। So কোনোবা এজন মানুহ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল কিবা ক্ৰাইমৰ কাৰণে তেওঁ জেলত যাব লগা হ'ল। তেওঁ ক্ৰাইমটো কৰিছে নকৰিছে এইটো পিছৰ কথা, কিন্তু জেলত থকা অৱস্থাত তেওঁক টৰ্চাৰ কৰি ফিজিকেলি হওক বা মেণ্টেলিয়ে হওক তেওঁক টৰ্চাৰ কৰি কোনো এইটো confess কৰাব নোৱাৰিব যে তেওঁ সেই ক্ৰাইমটো কৰাইছে। This is provided by the Constitution of India under Fundamental Rights, Article 20, Clause 3. Then, India has incorporated the relevant provisions against torture in its criminal laws after ratifying the UN Convention Against Torture. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. So among the given statements, only the first statement is correct. So our correct option will be A, 1 only. Let's look into the explanation. So the Constitution provides fundamental right against the forced self-incrimination by the accused under Article 23, which states that no person accused of any offense shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. মানে তেওঁ নিজৰ কাৰণে সেইটো কনফেছ কৰিব নোৱাৰিব যে তেওঁ সেই ক্ৰাইমটো কৰিছে। এটো যেনেকুৱাই নহওক, ফিজিক্যাল টৰ্চাৰ হওক বা মেণ্টেল টৰ্চাৰে হওক, সেইটো কৰিব নোৱাৰিব। দেন India signed the United Nations Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman and Degrading Treatment for or Punishment in 1997, but has not ratified it so far. Hence our second statement is not correct. এতিয়া আমি চাও আমাৰ 21st Law Commissioner যিখিনি ৰিকমেন্ডেশন আমি সেইখিনি চাও। So it was constituted under Justice B.S. Chauhan, recommended on implementation of convention by legislation. It proposed amendments to the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 and the Indian Evidence Act of 1872. In addition, the Commission submitted a draft Prevention of Torture Bill of 2017, which defines act that should be constituted torture and prescribed punishments for such act. কিন্তু এতিয়ালৈকে এইবিলাক ইমপ্লিমেন্ট হোৱা নাই। So moving to the next question we have. So Malabar exercise লৈ পেলাই আগতেও আমি ডিসকাস কৰিছো, কিন্তু আজিৰ এই ডিসকাশনটো এটা বেলেগ টপিকৰ ওপৰত হ'ব। So সেইকাৰণে আমি এই কোৱেশ্চনটো লৈছো। So consider the following statements. Malabar exercise is a trilateral naval exercise involving the United States, Japan, and India. Quadrilateral security dialogue is a strategic forum between the United States, Japan, South Korea, and India. So we have to choose the correct statements. So among the given statements, the second statement is not correct. So our correct option will be A, one only. Let's look into the explanation. So Malabar exercise is a trilateral naval exercise involving the United States, Japan, and India as permanent partners. So Australia ko yat include korar kotha choli ase. It began in 1992 as a bilateral exercise between India and the United States. In 2015, Japan became a permanent member. Singapore and Australia have in past participated as non-permanent partners. The Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad, is an informal strategic forum between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. So, a security dialogue to loi pele India's position ki hetu janar karone ami olop piswai jabo lagibo. So, after the end of the World War II in 1945, amar পৃথিৱীত mainly দুটা super power blocker সৃষ্টি হৈছিল. এটা led by United States, that is in the west, আৰু আনটো হৈছে আমাৰ ইষ্টত led by USSR, that is Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So এটা ব্লক আছিল আমাৰ capitalist আৰু এটা আছিল socialist বা communist. So আমি হেতুৰ কথা নাযাও. তাৰ পিছত এই দুটা আমাৰ মেইন সুপাৰ পাৱাৰ ব্লক আছিল আৰু মাজতো কিছুমান সেন্ট্ৰেল এছিয়া আৰু সাউথ এছিয়াৰ গ্ৰুপ আছে কান্ট্ৰিৰ, সেইবিলাক আমি নকওঁ, কিন্তু মেইনলি আমাৰ দুটাৰে গ্ৰুপ আছিল। আৰু সেই সময়খিনিত আমাৰ কি হৈছিল, বহুত কান্ট্ৰিয়ে ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্স লাভ কৰিছিল। ইণ্ডিয়া ইজ ওৱান অফ দেম। সো সেই কান্ট্ৰিবিলাকে এটা ডিসিশন লৈছিল যে আমি যেহেতু ইমান বছৰ বেলেগৰ অধীনত আছিলো, সো উই উইল নট জইন এনি ওৱান অফ দি ব্লকস। আমি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টলি থাকিম আৰু আমাৰ ফৰেন পলিচিবিলাক কি হ'ব আমি এইটো আমাৰ মেৰিটত ডিসাইড কৰিম, তাৰ কাৰণে আমি বেলেগৰ সহায় নলওঁ। সেইকাৰণে সেই কান্ট্ৰিবিলাকে ফৰ এক্সাম্পল ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া, ঘানা, ইণ্ডিয়া, তেওঁলোকে এই দুটা ব্লকৰ এটাটো জইন নকৰিলে আৰু তেওঁলোকে এটা নতুন মুভমেন্ট ষ্টাৰ্ট দিলে, যাক আমি নন এলাইনমেন্ট মুভমেন্ট বুলি জানো। সেইটো মানে হ'ল আমি কোনো এটা ব্লকৰ লগত আমি লগ নহওঁ, আমি নিজৰ মতে কোন কান্ট্ৰিৰ লগত আমাৰ ৰিলেশ্যন কেনেকুৱা হ'ব সেইটো আমি নিজে ডিসাইড কৰিম। তো তেতিয়াৰ পৰা ইণ্ডিয়াই নন এলাইনমেন্ট পলিচি ফলো কৰি আছে। সো ৰিসেন্টলি যেতিয়া ইউনাইটেড ষ্টেটছে কৈছে যে আমি এই গ্ৰুপিংটো কোৱাড গ্ৰুপটো ফৰ্ম কৰোঁ টু কাউণ্টাৰ চাইনা, তেতিয়া আমাৰ ফৰেন মিনিষ্টাৰ, that is এক্সটাৰ্নেল এফেয়াৰ্ছ মিনিষ্টাৰ মিষ্টাৰ জয়শংকৰে কৈছে যে উই ফলো এ পলিচি অফ নন এলাইনমেন্ট, আমি চাইনাক কাউণ্টাৰ কৰাৰ কাৰণে আমি কোৱাড গ্ৰুপটো কৰিব নোৱাৰো। সো হি told USA to look beyond some alliance. So that's it. Moving to the next question we have. Which of the following is or are correctly matched? Farzadbi gas field, Iran. Baghjan oil field, India. Khawar oil field, Saudi Arabia. So we have to choose the options which are correctly matched. So the options are 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, or all of the above. So all the pairs are correctly matched, so they will be the correct option. Let's look at the explanation. So Farzadbi gas field is located in the Persian Gulf under the control of Iran. India has plans to invest in the exploration of this oil field. Then Baghjan oil field, we all know, is in Tinsukia district of Assam. Recently a massive fire engulfed the damaged Baghjan oil well in Assam. Khawar oil field is located in eastern provinces, Saudi Arabia, owned and operated by state-owned Saudi Aramco. It is one of the largest conventional oil fields in the world and accounts for roughly a third of the cumulative oil production of Saudi Arabia. So that's it. Moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements regarding Global Multidimensional Poverty Index 2020. It measures the acute deprivations in health, education, and living standards that a person faces simultaneously. Then it has been released by the United Nations Development Program, that is UNDP, and Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, or OPHI. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So both the statements are correct, so C will be the correct option. Let's look into the explanation. So the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index is an international measure of acute multidimensional poverty. It complements traditional monetary poverty measures by capturing the acute deprivations in health, education, and living standards that a person faces simultaneously. So the multidimensional poverty index of 2020, that is charting pathways out of multidimensional poverty, achieving the sustainable development goals, has been released by the United Nations Development Programme and the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, that is OPHI. So as per the report, India saw the most people moving out of multidimensional poverty, about 270 million people between 2005 and 6 to 2015 and 16. So that's a good news for us. So moving to the next question we have. So consider the following statements regarding the KURMA mobile application. So KURMA mane ami jano tortoise. It has been developed by the Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network. It provides database to identify turtle species and location of the nearest rescue center for turtles. So we have to choose the correct statements. So both the statements are correct. So C will be the correct option. So let's look at the explanation. So KURMA mobile application was launched on the occasion of the World Turtle Day, May 23, 2020. It has been developed by the Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network in collaboration with the Turtle Survival Alliance India and Wild Conservation Society India. It provides users a database to identify the species and also location of the nearest rescue center for turtles across the country. So tortoise and freshwater turtles are heavily trafficked in India. The traffic reported in 2019 that at least 200 tortoises and freshwater turtles are subjected to poaching and smuggling every week. So that's it. Moving to the next question we have. Which of the following is or are correct regarding community transmission of a disease? Community has achieved herd immunity. Source of infection for a person is not traceable. The infecting virus strain is not identifiable. So the correct option is B. Source of infection for a person is not traceable. So let's look at the explanation. So a disease is said to be in community transmission stage when there is no clear source of origin of the infection in a new person or community. It can no longer be identified who became infected after being exposed to someone who interacted with infected people. For example, এজন মানুহৰ যদি করোনা ভাইরাস হয় আৰু তেওঁ যদি তেওঁৰ সেই সোর্সটো গম পায় যে তেওঁৰ তাত কেনেকে ভাইরাসটো আহিল, তেতিয়াহলে সেই স্টেজটোক আমি কমিউনিটি ট্রান্সমিশন বুলি নকওঁ। কিন্তু যদি তেওঁ নিজৰ সোর্স অফ ইনফেকশনটো গম নাপায়, তেতিয়া আমি কওঁ যে সেই বেমাৰটোৱে কমিউনিটি ট্রান্সমিশনৰ স্টেজটো পালে। That's what we mean by community transmission. Then the source and chain of infections can no longer be established. Therefore, contact tracing becomes difficult and there's limited use in arresting the spread of disease. Okay, তেতিয়া আমি চেইনটো ধৰিব নোৱাৰো যে ক'ৰ পৰা কেনেকে বেমাৰটো স্প্ৰেড হ'ল। Then herd immunity occurs when a large portion of a community becomes immune to a disease, making the spread of disease from person to person unlikely. This can happen in two ways. Many people contract the disease and in time build up an immune response to it, that is called natural immunity, or many people are vaccinated against the disease to achieve immunity. So herd immunity মানে হল যদি এটা লার্জ কমিউনিটি বা প্রপোর্শনৰ মানুহৰ গাত সেই বেমাৰটো যদি এটেক কৰিব নোৱাৰে, তেতিয়া আমি কওঁ যে they are herd immune. So moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements which are not correct. Javan and Sumatran rhino are critically endangered. The greater one-horned, that is Indian rhino, is vulnerable in the IUCN Red List. 90% of the population of Indian rhino concentrated in Assam's Kaziranga National Park, or none of the above. So all our statements are correct. So D will be the correct option. Let's look at the explanation. There are 3 species of rhino in Asia, that is greater one-horned, Javan and Sumatran. Javan and Sumatran rhino are critically endangered and the greater one-horned, that is Indian rhino, is vulnerable in IUCN Red List. They are spread across India, Nepal, Bhutan, Indonesia and Malaysia. These countries are also known as Asian rhino range countries. Only the great one-horned rhino is found in India. At present, there are about 2,600 Indian rhinos in India, with more than 90% of the population concentrated in Assam's Kaziranga National Park. So moving to the next question we have. Uighur is a predominantly dash speaking ethnic group. So the options are Turkic, Chinese, Arabic or Urdu. So the correct option will be A, Turkic. So Uighur is a Turkic speaking ethnic group. So Uighur is predominantly a Turkic speaking ethnic group. They are primarily confined in China's northwestern region of Xinjiang and is one of the largest Muslim group in that region. So let's look into the map. So red portion খিনি তাত Uyghur community population বেশি. So time to time they were persecuted by the Chinese. That's why this is in news. So moving to the next question we have. Consider the following statements about vitamin D. So vitamin D deficiency can affect COVID-19 high-risk patients. It is also associated with infections in the respiratory tract and lung injury. So we have to choose the correct statements. So the options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and none of the above. So both the statements are correct. Let's look into the explanation. So vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning that it dissolves in fats and oils and can be stored in your body for a long time. It is known to help in having the right amount of calcium in the bones, catalyze the process of protecting cell membranes from damage, preventing the inflammation of tissues and helping stop tissues from forming fibers and weakening bones from becoming brittle, leading to osteoporosis. So vitamin D deficiency can affect COVID-19 high-risk patients, particularly those who are diabetic, have heart conditions, pneumonia, obesity, and those who smoke. Then it is also associated with infections in the respiratory tract and lung injury. So that's it for today. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe to our channel so that you can get timely update of our videos. Meet you in the next video. See you. Thank you.